A recent survey of 300 people shows 90% believe something needs to be done to protect local marine environments. The questionnaire was undertaken by the South East Marine Protection Forum, and member Neville Peat joins us to talk about it. Good evening.
Good evening.
What is the forum's goal?
It's to produce a set of recommendations for marine protected areas along the coast from Timaru to Waipapa Point in the Catlins, about 400 kilometres of coastline. There is a gap there in the network of marine reserves and other protected areas around our mainland coasts.
How long has the forum been operating?
It's been going just on 2 years now, and we've got 14 members, and they represent sectors such as recreational fishers, commercial fishers, tourism, environment, marine science, and my role has been to represent the community at large.
So tell us a wee bit about the survey that you've just done.
Yeah, it was a questionnaire circulated, and we had, as you said, 300 odd responses, and we're pleased with them. It adds to what we've already done in the last 2 years in terms of public consultation.
Tell us about the main findings.
Well, the main findings were roughly that more than half of the people responding said something should be done to restore the decline that they perceived along the coast, this coast of Otago, South Canterbury and the Catlins. There were, of course, people who said some sort of under 10% said things had improved, and about 15% said things were about the same.
Did the findings surprise you?
Not really. I think they're pretty consistent with what we've heard, the messages from people we've consulted over the last 2 years.
What are you going to do with this information?
We're going to put it all together and come up with a set of representative set of recommendations of MPAs. There'll have to be at least one reserve that is a no disturbance, no take place along that coast. There might be more even. But a set, that will protect the habitats, particularly, especially those vulnerable ones like bryozoan and the kelp beds, which are called biogenic habitats, which they grow and make a place for marine life. We'll in October this year we should have a set of recommendations which will go to the Ministers of Conservation and Primary Industries in the new year.
How much community engagement has the forum undertaken so far?
Well, quite a bit. First year we spent just looking at the values, what we could perceive. There was quite a bit of emphasis on the process itself. And then in the second year where we had meetings at the rate of sort of every 6 weeks or so, we would have public forums, and they've ranged from Timaru down to Waikawa in the Catlins, and we listened to what people had to say when we went out into the field. Yeah.
Are you foreseeing any recommendation for drastic action locally?
Not really. I don't think drastic is a proper word for it. We'll see a set of areas that should be, we feel that should have some form of protection, and it might be just in terms of fisheries regulations or whatever. I mean, we had a classic example recently of poaching in a Taipure, a customary area, a community fishery if you like, which was a huge example of what can go wrong if we don't keep a good eye on the coast.
What are the main threats to our local marine environments?
Well, overfishing and particularly poaching of paua, which has been a worry to recreational fishers and commercial fishers as well. There's been wildlife issues, the penguins we know about and you've reported, in terms of what's happening in the sea. We don't quite know what's happening to the yellow-eyes. There's land use things that are a worry, particularly runoff and sedimentation along the coast. Pollution, of course, from time to time.
Is erosion a particularly big issue around the coast that you're monitoring? Yeah,
well, erosion has to do with land, and we're more in the sea, below high tide mark and out to 20 kilometres, the nautical 12-mile limit.
South East Marine Protection Forum member Neville Peat, thanks very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.